Okay, so I think now this thing is properly working, and I do see people joining in, and Rika has just messaged me that everything is working properly. So, yes, hello everyone. This is Mallika here, and I am with Prima Marketing, and I think this is the first time you guys are seeing me live. I've never done this before, so I'm very nervous, so please be nice to me. And today I'm going to be teaching you all how to make a beautiful project, and we will be learning how to make this beautiful easel card. So it stands on itself, it's like a card with a stand. A very beautiful traditional concept, but with Prima flowers, they look prettier. So I'm going to be teaching you all how to make this beautiful piece, and I am super excited and super thrilled to be seeing all of you. And thank you so much, everyone. Like, I see people from India, I see people saying hi from all the places, so this is super exciting. So thanks a ton, guys, for joining me in, and I'm gonna wait like for a few minutes before I start this live. So let's wait for like a couple of minutes, and so that I can actually see, like, so that we have people joining in and we can start the project. So yeah, hi Rashmi, hi Gino. I see people messaging, so it's really exciting. And hi Denise. So I can see all your messages right in front of my screen, like I have a computer set up. So I can see myself live and I can see all the messages. So that's nice. And so yeah, again, like I was saying, I'm going to be teaching you all how to make this beautiful easel card project. And it can just go like this. You can put it in an envelope and gift it. So it can be a centerpiece like on your table, as well as it can be stored inside a box. So for this collection, I'm going to be teaching you, I'm going to be using the new Apricot honey collection. I love that collection. It's so pretty. I'm going to be using some of the Finibus new stamps. And of course, our mixed media range. I love our mixed media stuff. Like, all the mixed media range which we have is amazing. It's versatile, and each product is so unique. So I am checking out like all the comments, and I'm getting a little distracted, but probably I'm gonna get the hang of it. But so let's get started. We still have 5 minutes. So maybe we're going to wait for 5 minutes, because we have given the time of 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So let's wait for a couple of minutes before we get started. And you guys can, if you guys have any questions, if you guys have anything for me, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer right now. So for the time being, I am just gonna take my camera and mount it on the top so that you can see my table, and it becomes easy. That's how we are going to continue our class. Okay. Okay, so the camera is perfectly set up, and this is awesome. Okay, so you guys can see my screen and everything here. Let me just shift it like this. Yeah. I am so sorry, guys. I'm generally very tech friendly because I'm a software developer, but then today it's just first time, so let's see. Yeah. Okay, so now we do have few minutes left. So first, let's see the Apricot honey collection. This is like a breathtaking collection, guys, and I think you guys are gonna love it. So I'm gonna take out my paper pad and show you all. In fact, let's unbox this together. So I have my scissors. I'm gonna cut it. And here it is. So yeah. So this is my Apricot honey collection. And you're gonna see the beautiful sheets in this collection now. Okay, I'm gonna remove these unwanted items from the table. Okay. So now the focus is only on the collection, and let's get started. So we have beautiful sheets in this collection, and they are a mix of shabby chic and de-stressed. So you can see these papers, they are beautifully done. And I'm going to show you guys my favorite sheet, which is, let's see, this is again a beautiful page which has a lot of small elements, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, like always. And then you can cut these sheets and you can use them as ephemera, and they have beautiful background. Like, I mean, this is one collection in which I have to literally think like which side of paper to cut. I mean, lucky for me that each paper has like 3-4 duplicates in one set of pad, so it's not that heartbreaking. But then these papers are like absolutely gorgeous. You can see these beautiful papers. Then you have these journaling cards. They are again beautiful. You can cut them and use them, and I think this album is perfect for making an album, and I'm gonna show an album very soon on Prima, because I'm just inspired to make an album. So now on to my favorite sheet. This is my absolute favorite sheet because it has so many beautiful butterflies. And what I did was I chopped these butterflies. I did fussy cutting, and I added these butterflies on my card. So it's just beautiful using like these butterflies, because it adds so much of definition, so much of color. I just love using this collection. And these butterflies, like I have a thing for butterflies. I end up adding butterflies to all my projects. So that's how I do it. I generally add some glitter to it, some dots to it to make it pretty, and that's how I go about it. So now let's just get over with the whole collection. This is another sheet, and they all have beautiful backgrounds, very de-stressed. And I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one with this background. So this is the 12 by 12 piece, and we have multiple sizes. We have 8 by 8, we have 6 by 6, we have journaling cards, we have the 4 by 6 photo matting cards, and it's again a beautiful collection. And along with that, we have coordinating pieces like these. This is a beautiful ephemera which came with this collection, and I've used a bunch of it, like, so it's not like full, but then yeah, I've used one bunch of this ephemera because I just love this whole beautiful thing which they have going on around here. And there's so many things in the entire paper pad which you can do fussy cutting and use as beautiful ephemera. So this is one part of the collection, and I am just looking for some more parts. So we have these sugar dots as part of this collection, and then we have these chipboard stickers also as part of this collection. This collection also has some more beautiful elements to it, but it's just very hard to go over each one of them. I think Prima has a live video on the entire collection somewhere on the page, and if you guys want, we can link it down. So yeah, let's get started with our project now. So this is a project which I'm going to be teaching you again, and this is how it looks once we put it on the stand. Like, it's an Easel stand card. So let's get started. So on my table, I usually keep a glass which has a lot of water in it and my paint brushes. So this is like one prep which I do. And another thing which I keep is are these baby wipes, like, because they're soft on stamps, they don't have any chemicals, they're like very perfect, and just I keep them in handy because I keep on cleaning my table all the time. So to get started with, I'm gonna be using the 6x6 paper collection, and this is again Apricot Honey paper collection. And the sheet which we're gonna be using, so I mean, I don't waste paper, like even if half of it is left, I'm gonna keep it back inside the paper pad because I just don't like wasting this like beautiful paper. So we're gonna be using this particular sheet for our card because we have used this one in the background. And to prep it up, I will be simply taking my, so these are 6x6 sheets. So whenever you make a card, you need to do a lot of matting to it. So matting helps a lot. The reason is that if you see, like, I mean, you see in this card, like there's a gap between the two layers, and that adds a lot of definition. So that is why I give utter importance to matting. And so now the way we do it is that I'm gonna like cut it. So the card is going to be 6x6. So to mat it, like the first layer, I'm gonna make it 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm gonna simply go ahead and cut it. Okay. So now once this part is done, I will de-stress the edges. This is again a very important step. Very, very, very important step. So de-stressing adds a lot of definition. See, the entire paper is very de-stressed, right? So if you add de-stressing to the edges, it looks like everything is blended properly. But in case you don't do it, there's this whole sharpness to the paper, and that doesn't look good. So these are the little small details which matter when you're making a project, and one should keep in mind. So this is my sheet which is ready. So the next step which I am going to do is add a stencil to it and add clear gesso to this particular page. So gesso is very important because it helps in prepping up the entire thing. It's very important to use gesso. I mean, I think it's and I usually use clear gesso because it protects my paper, because it gives it a whole protection to the paper, and any color which you put on it, it won't bleed through the paper, you know. So like, I mean, if I put color on top of this, it might bleed through the paper and it might not show up properly. So gesso basically gives you a protective layer, and I usually use clear gesso because I don't want to miss the whole background with my pretty design. So let's see. Yeah, so my gesso part is done, and the next step is applying stencil using paper texture paste. So I'm going to wait for it to dry a little bit, and then I can show that part. This takes a while. Okay, so this is pretty much dry, and we'll see, I mean, if it's not. So my next step is using this paper texture paste. This is like a lifesaver paste. It has a beautiful texture to it, and whenever you apply again to your de-stressed layouts or your shabby chic inspired layouts, it again gives a very good de-stressed look in comparison to the plain light opaque paste. So it is beautiful, and I just love using it. So I'm going to take one of my stencils, and I'm using this one. It's called Diamonds, and we're going to put some texture paste on our layout, so sorry, on our card base. So let's to this part and I'm gonna just apply this paste in a random fashion. You don't want it to be complete perfect square, like, I mean, because that would not give it a natural look. And in a random fashion, if you apply, it gives a very, very, very natural look. So like I told you guys, I always have these baby wipes in handy because I love my products, like I love all my supplies and I don't want them to get damaged. Like usually what I do is just I get up and clean the stencil like with water, but then like as we are doing this live here, I'm not gonna do it, but I do advise, like if you're not doing any live or anything like that, you should just clean your stencil right away. Okay, so it's very important to take care of your products, and this is how my paper looks with paper texture paste on it. So now once this part is done, I'm gonna dry this on. So I prepared another sheet in which I have applied this particular stencil, like a brick stencil. And this one I had let to dry a little while ago so that, you know, we waste a little less time, you know, drying out the sheet. So let's use this one because it won't waste a lot of our time in order to dry out. With mixed media, we have to wait a lot just because everything requires drying time. Hi Gina, hi Virginia from Brazil and Belgium. I'm really excited to see all of you. I mean, from all around the world, all of you are joining, and it's really, really, really awesome. That's perfect. Let's see. Okay, so I think most of it is dry. Yeah, it is dry, and we can get started with our next step. So let's see. So now in order to make the background, I use a lot of colors. Sometimes when I make the background, the colors, they get hidden, like, I mean, they completely don't show up, but trust me, just a little peek of that color adds a lot of definition. So make sure you complete your projects properly, I mean, without any laziness, because honestly, like, I mean, I do it all the time, like, you know, I won't color the background properly and all of a sudden that thing goes away. So Virginia has a question, is this an acrylic gesso? Yeah, this is a clear gesso basically, and it is transparent. When it dries, it's completely clear. So that's the question. Sorry, that's the answer. So let's do the coloring part. So I have my color palette here, which is these 4 colors. Let's quickly see the colors. These are the 4 colors which I'll be using. I felt they all go very well with this paper. And always keep, when you're coloring, always keep a spray bottle handy and wet wipes handy. I mean, you'll see me using them like crazy in this project. So I'm going to take my paintbrush, and this seems to be very good size. It's 1.5 flat with a slanted cut, this paintbrush from Finnair. And let's see. And yeah, the 3D effect is made using the paper paste, which we used a while ago. And I'm gonna just take this and start with my background. And while I'm doing this, because of the clear gesso, the colors are not going to bleed, you know. So that's the advantage of prepping your base before applying anything to it. So let's blend this with a little bit of green. This is my favorite green. It's called Golden Mars. And we're gonna paste all the links of all the products down here. Rika is gonna do that, and this way it's easy for you guys to figure out. And see, that's how I give texture. Like, I take the tissue, I dab it, so it gives it a very nice defined, like a very blended look. And with mixed media, you can never go wrong. There's no right, there's no wrong. You just have to keep building up your project till the point you feel that yes, this is what you want. I'm gonna do this, and the next one is my blue color. Let's blend this one a little bit. I'm gonna put a bit of more brown because I feel that looks prettier, and blend it with a little bit of green here. So according to me, my background is ready. I'm gonna add some paper, some color, like some water to it, make it a little lighter. And because I have clear gesso, it's not going to bleed through my paper. So you see this beautiful brick background, and you can see all the brick pieces showing up. And let's pack these colors and put them away before we move on to our next step. So our next step is doing a bit of stamping, and for that I'm going to be using this new stamp by Finnabair. It's called Beautiful Story. And let's use this one. I'm going to take my acrylic block and my black ink. So I see Janine asking, what are we doing? So Janine, we are making this beautiful card, an easel card. And this is how it looks when it is on the stand. So we are making this beautiful easel card, and up till now we have prepped the sheet and added clear gesso to it and did some texture paste and some coloring on it. So now the next thing which we're going to do is do stamping. I'm going to take my stamp on my clear block and I'm going to stamp. So this part, guys, be as abstract as possible, like, you know, be very abstract. Apply pressures to some part of the block, don't apply on some, like, you know, you have to just make it very, very natural. You don't want like a design to show up on your sheet like very defined. For example, let me find a piece of paper. Yeah, for example, you don't want your design to look like this. In the middle of the paper, you don't want it to look like this, you know. You just want it to be very abstract. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and apply this at random places, because here. So once this is done, I will go ahead and clear my stamp block. And okay, so my stamp is clear. I keep cleaning my products all the time once I'm done, because I just like taking care of all my stamps and everything which I have. So I'll just clean it up, and I'm using these baby wipes and they are perfect. So we are done with this part. Now let's move on to the next one. So once this is done, any project, the beauty of it for me depends on adding some white splashes and black splashes to it. So for this, I have this very nice small palette, like color palette, and I have my gesso in these tubes. They come in these tubes also. So these gessos in tubes are very useful because it's very easy to mix them. Like, you know, instead of the bucket, like I use the bucket when I have to do the background, but for the splashing part, it's easy. So I just take the pinch of color like this, and I'll take a pinch of white color in this one. Okay, and we're going to take a paintbrush, and this is, I think, I mean, because of over excessive using, the number is gone, but it's one of the thinner brushes. And we're going to put some water here, some water here. Let's mix the white paint first. So consistency, I mean, I try to make it a little watery, but not too watery. Like it is not supposed to be thick because we want it to flow. And this is the black one. So the first thing which we'll do is just take this color and tap it. See. So it gives such a nice, beautiful look. Looks like super shabby, vintage, everything going in one. So we are done with the black color. And I will clean my paintbrush properly before moving on to the white. And now let's move on to the white. We're gonna add a little bit more of white because I feel I like shabby chic and white plays a very important role. Here. So now we are done with the white and the black. So let's dry it for a minute or two before we can add our flower layer and everything to it. Okay guys, our paper is fully dry. The background looks absolutely gorgeous. You can see all the black and white splashes on it and it looks pretty. And now the next step, which is basically like layering your entire sheet. So for this, I'm gonna be using one of these, journaling cards, and let's pick up which one we should use. Let's use this one. And for this, I will just randomly cut it and take my de-stress ink and de-stress the edges. Before that, I'm going to clear the paper a little bit, like de-stress it with the de-stress tool. Okay, so now let's layer everything up. We're gonna put this like this, 2 layers like this, and the next step I'm gonna do is add my flowers. So I'm using these flowers for this particular layout, and we're gonna be using a chipboard piece. So this is a chipboard piece. which we will use, and we will use some leaves to give it a beautiful look. So let's layer everything up. And okay, so I want a central focal in my piece, so I will be using a bigger piece of flower. So let's build everything around it. I keep all my flowers organized by color, so it's very easy for me to look into them whenever I need them. So I'm trying to build a whole scene around this particular flower, and let's see which one wins. I think this seems like a fair choice. Okay. Yeah. So we have then I have some browns, but I think I'll go forward with these. Yeah. So to make the whole background, it's a lot of hit and trial method. Like, it doesn't come to me naturally. The flowers are part of some old collection, Nikon. So I think, yeah, these are from the staple collections. Okay. And this goes like this. I'm gonna put this one like this. And the next thing which I'm gonna do is put some more flowers on the side. Prima flowers are so pretty that no matter how you put them, they're gonna look just amazing. Like, just cluster them and they look super pretty. So this is how we're gonna put it. So first let's stick these two. And here, I'm gonna stick this one. And let's take this one. Okay, so these both are done. Now, in order to put my flowers in layers such that they look very dimensional, I take this chipboard, like it's a heavyweight chipboard, cut it into strips and make dimensional out of it. So I'll just cut these small blocks and stick them together. And this gives me an extra space to put more stuff. Like, you know, once the flowers are raised, I can put something like below them, and everything looks very pretty with that step. I'm gonna add this. And let's see if we have some more beautiful flower. No, I think this looks perfect. So yeah. It's again a hit and trial method. Like I said, guys, like I do a lot of hit and trial when it comes to making my flower clusters. Yep, and we're gonna put it with these and just put a small one here. Before we stick it, let's add some leaves. So we're gonna put one leaf here. See, a pinch of greenery looks so pretty, right? And other than that, I have this chipboard which I'm gonna cut in half. I usually cut all my chipboards in half. I don't like the defined shape, like the full defined shape. So let's put this here. So this is, bear with me guys, this is a little patient task. Like, my flower clusters are usually a little complex, so I just give a lot of time to it. I'm gonna put this here, and we're gonna put one more leaf, probably this side. Yep. So guys, this is our flower cluster which is ready, and quickly we're gonna stick it all. So the first thing which I do is stick the focal piece, which is the center one. And the next thing which I'm gonna do is this one, and I've put a little bit of glue on the leaf so that it sticks. I'm gonna stick this one and go inside and stick it such that everything looks very natural. And the chipboard piece, here. Let's do the chipboard piece first, and then we'll do the rest of the pieces. Okay, the chipboard piece is also in, and now let's add this flower to the side. Let's add this leaf. And this piece. These leaves are so good, guys. You have to invest in them. Like, they are perfect. Okay, so now we have our flower cluster ready. So let's build everything around it. So I'm gonna do is, I have all of these pieces ready with me here. So I have this pretty clay pieces which I have made using one of our redesigned molds. And yeah, probably so the chipboard is very old. I don't think, I mean, that's not Prima for sure, but then it's very old. It was in my stash. So I usually keep a lot of, like, you know, these small things in a box, and I use them as I go. Yeah. And for this, these are the redesigned molds. I've made them using our clay, and I'm gonna go ahead and add this piece here and add this piece here. So let's do it. And before I do it, because I want it to peep in a little bit more, I'm gonna cut it by scissors so that it goes in properly, like in proper position. And there's a little bit of glue. It's come down. I will just simply go ahead and clean it. And same goes with this one. I'm gonna cut it a little and then put it, because I want it to go inside. Okay guys, so see, little things, how much they matter. Like, every little thing in the project plays a lot of role. Then I have these beautiful melange art pebbles. These are my favorite. They are my favorite. So let's add these. So I'm gonna add them at different places. We'll add this one here. Let's add one here. One of them I'm gonna add here. And to balance it out, let's add one here. So I use glue gun all the time. I don't use glossy accents and stuff because it just takes time to dry, and I don't have that much amount of patience. So my cluster is ready, and my next step, which is basically adding my butterflies. So remember the collection, guys, Apricot Honey? These are the beautiful butterflies which came out of those Apricot Honey collection. So very pretty, very beautiful, these butterflies. So I'm gonna just take my de-stressing, de-stress it a little, and you will see, you know, how the project is like folding across, like how it's coming up. And thank you, Monica, for calling me the master of glue gun. Yeah, I glue gun everything. One time, because I glue gun everything, one time I glue gunned my thighs and they got burned, and I was rushed to an emergency room last year. So yeah, be careful, guys. Don't be in glue. Don't be so much in love with glue gun. So here, and that's it. let's see. Our butterflies look pretty. And I have a feeling this leaf needs a little bit of more work. I'm gonna take it off. I can reuse this, so don't worry. I think that I'm gonna add a flower here. Yeah, that looks better. Let's choose a different color. Yeah, or maybe we'll see later. Yeah. This part is done, and the next part is applying my sentiment here. And for that, I did have something kept. Okay, so we have two sentiments. Both of them, they say adventure, and let's see which one looks better. This or this? I think this one looks prettier, right? So let's just de-stress this, and to add them, we have these metal knobs, and they are part of a mechanical collection by Finabed, I think. Yeah, and they are amazing, 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 amazing. I'm seeing if I can find the box of those knobs, and I can show you guys in person how they look, but unfortunately I can't find it in my craft room. My craft room is like a bum. Even though I keep it so organized, it's like a Bermuda triangle. Like, I keep losing my stuff, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so these are the knobs, and I think Rika is going to link them. Yeah, here. And for this, let's bend it a little. We are going to add it, but not flat, in the center, like this. Here. So my very good friend Monica is here, and she's been to my studio many times. And I'm gonna give you guys a studio tour very soon. Very prima studio tour. Like, everything is so prima here. And we're gonna add these knobs, and they look beautiful. So the card is folding out very well, I think. What do you think, guys? And I feel that something is empty here, so I'm gonna just add this butterfly. Maybe, like, okay, let's see. Okay, so this is done. Now the finishing part. For the finishing, I generally use tons and tons of art stones. Like, I love art stones. These are art stones. They come in 3 sizes, and these are the best things. Like, you know, I always use them. I love using these art stones. So I have my art stones. I have this beautiful, sorry, not beautiful, but then a tray, like a embossing tray. It eliminates any kind of loss, like of glitter or stones, anything like that, or embossing powder. So it's called embossing tray. And for this, we are going to be using soft matte gel. And let's get the party started. So this is the soft matte gel. I'm going to take my paintbrush and add it. And when I add this soft matte gel to put my art stones, I generally go inside the edges, because I want my stones to come from there. So they look very natural that way. Like, they don't look like they have been put just to put. Like, everything should like blend in together. That's my point. Like, I like blending stuff together. I don't like anything to look like it has been put there just because I wanted to put it there. So I have this matte gel, which I've put in. Now, the soft matte gel is perfect for sticking these medium size or small art stones, and even large ones. And it cleans up well, and it dries transparent, so I really like it. And I'm gonna add my art stones. Yep. Okay, so now, very important step. While my matte gel is still dry, it's still wet, I can see these spaces between the stones. So I'm gonna fill them up. And how I do it, it's very interesting. I take my glass glitter and I feel that gold would go well on this one. See, gold goes so well. I'm gonna add this. So same matte gel, it's like same soft gel, but now we have gold definitions. And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna take one of my small size brushes, add a little bit of glitter even on these pieces. Let's see how it looks. See, my flowers also have glitter now. The project is almost coming to an end, guys. Just bear with me. Okay, so we do have this ready now. And my next step is going to be adding some more white splitters, like white paint, so that everything blends in well. So go ahead, take some heavy gesso, let's add some water to it, and my paintbrush, let's take the paintbrush which is the thinnest. Probably want to use a new one because those are completely drenched with dirty paint water. So now add some more white splitters. I love adding white splitters to my project, like these splashes, they make it so nice. And you can never go wrong with them. Like, I mean, too much of black can spoil your project, but too much of white can never spoil your project. So now this part is done. Everything looks very pretty. Our base is ready. Now let's do the fun part, making the stand. So for that part, what we are going to do is I am looking for the 6x6 paper pad, which I just had in my Bermuda triangle. Here it is. Yep. So this is the paper pad. I will take one of the sheets for the background, and I think this looks pretty. This will make a good base. And we're going to let it dry, like this part, we're going to dry it. We're going to, oops, guys, I'm so sorry. I slipped it. Okay, so we're going to let it dry. And let's just take a 6x6 paper pad. Let's take a 6x6 sheet because we want it to be 6x6 card, and we're going to add this on top. But first, what we will do is, I'm just going to clear this up a little. De-stress. Very important, guys. Very, very important. I think de-stressing is like a holy grail for me. And then I'll take my tape, which is this double-sided score tape. I'm gonna add it, not in the edges, a little away from the edges, guys, because remember the heavy layer which we have, the one on which we have decorated, it's a little smaller than this, so like right on the edges. And the reason why I'm not adding the tape to that heavy one is because it's hard to add. Like, I'm gonna have to turn it and it won't be added nicely, so that is why I'm adding to this face. Ideally, what you should do, if you have patience, unlike me, add the score tape before you start the project to the smaller sheet. Okay, so let's take off the score tape. And let's add this piece. Everybody. Okay, so guys, this is ready, very strong, because I've added it to a base sheet, right? So it gives a lot of strength to the project. De-stress it a little bit more. Be careful, because this is still wet, it's gonna stick. And what I'm gonna do next is, sorry guys, I have an OCD. Keeping my desk clean, yeah. So this is done. Now let's go for the next step, which is making the easel. So this is a 6 by 12 sheet. What I did, I folded it into half like this and then folded it like this. So makes it easy. And then we're just gonna add it like this, and then we'll make it stand like this. So let's add some more score tape, but then before we're gonna do that, let's add our base sheets here. Let's complete this piece and then add that heavy piece to it. It's easier that way. I'm gonna just take some more sheets. Let's pick up, see, 12 by 12 is so, 6 by 6 is so perfect for cards. You don't need to look into any other. And let's use this one also. So we will take 6 by 6 and this one here. Guys, I love singing. Like, I'm a bad singer, but I love singing while I'm creating. Okay, so I'm gonna just de-stress the edges before I add it. And for this one, those layers were heavy, that is why I used my score tape, but these layers are light. I'm not going to spend my expensive score tape on it. So just simple glue, like an ATG glue. Okay, this part is done. Let's add another thing. 6 by 6. So we're gonna put this card like this. So let's put this sheet here. It looks pretty. I am so happy, guys, you all are here. You all have joined me in. Okay, I was not supposed to use my score tape, but then yeah. Here, let's add this piece. Just take a credit card or anything like this and press it so that everything is reinforced. And let's add this one to the background. Hey Jaya, how are you? Okay, so this one goes in the background. Okay guys, so the base is ready. Let's stick the beast. Yeah, so it looks very nice, and I will just add score tape because this is a heavy part. Let's put the score tape. Okay, so this part is done and my easel card is ready. I'm gonna add another piece here which can put this to a stand, and for this I will use maybe one of these. These are again by Prima. I don't know what they are called. Again, part of their mechanicals. And you can use these metal knobs, but I can't seem to find my packet of metal knobs. I don't know where it is. I'm gonna add this piece here, and this will help in stopping the card. Now, to finish it off, let's take our journaling card, this beautiful journaling card, and I'm going to take any one of these pretty sheets, inspirational sheets. This says surround yourself with people that get you, so this is very nice. Let's see more. This is so pretty. My heart opens to your voice like the flower opens to the kisses of the dawn. So let's use this one. I'm gonna just chop it a little. Yeah. Chop it, so that the rounded edges, they go away. Okay. And add some kind of add this to a black sheet because that will make it nice and defined, and I am looking for a black sheet of paper in my stash / Bermuda triangle, and I found it. So I have a black paper and I'm gonna put it here. Okay guys, I promise this is the last bit, but then it's very important to finish your project. And here. I'm adding it to black sheet. So basically I love matting. I feel that matting plays a very important role. Just with the black sheet, this whole sentiment, this whole journaling card, it pops out. So this is a little heavy, so let's use our score tape. Okay guys, our project is almost done. This is so exciting. Looks like it is done. So guys, this is the project. It's done, and let me show you all my face again before I say goodbye. And can you all, okay, I think you all can see me now. So guys, this is what we made today, and again, a very pretty project, and this is going to be on our Facebook page, and you guys can see it anytime and have a look. This is our easel card. Very simple, very easy, and it's all the links are gonna be listed here. Rika has posted all the all the products which I have used. These are 2 of my cards, detailed but still very simple to follow. So I do recommend that you guys go through this video and make your cards. I love making cards. They can go for any occasion, holiday, birthday, congratulations, thank you, wedding, anything. They look pretty. So yeah, thank you so much guys. I am just happy you guys have joined me in. Very grateful to you all, and you guys have been very nice to me, and hopefully you're gonna be seeing my face again. Bye guys, have a wonderful evening, afternoon or night, because you all are joining from different parts of the world. So have a great day. Bye.